I thought could be good for me. I was going to be living with Dan and the then drummer Steve Morrell in an apartment in Alston, and I thought, this is like the Playboy Mansion. They picked me up at graduation. We had our first rehearsal. That was the only night they ever spent at that apartment. I was alone. I didn't even have money for the tea. I'd get up in the morning by myself, do some bong hits, and then, because we didn't have a clock, we were on a ground floor, I would open the window and ask people who were walking to work what time it was. True story. So let's think from their perspective. They see a gust of smoke come from the window and they think, maybe it's a dryer venting. But if it is, why does it smell like marijuana? And then there's a head that says, do you know what time it is? And that was the start of being a rock and roll star. You know, I'm not full of shit when I say it ended up being the most important education for what I was going to go on and do. Like, there's only one way to learn about bands, and that's to be in one, to smell one, to try to get away from one, to miss one, all those things. But Boston at that time it was unbelievable. We all know the pre-internet, regional radio, the clubs. Before I joined the band, they were doing tours in Boston 7 nights in a row, but all in Boston, going from club to club. And it just felt like it had to be better than Liverpool in '62. It just felt like the place to be. But we learned, it was almost like an education from your peers. So it was the Liars, it was the Neats, it was Mission of Burma. These guys were your teachers. And one of the earlier bands, we're going to do a cover of their cover of Charlie Rich's Lonely Weekends, but the Remains were, we didn't cross paths with them, but they were important to many. And if you don't know the band, you can go check them out on whatever streaming service. But they opened the Beatles tour in '65, a Boston band, like in the sweetest spot in the world. And too few people know who they are. So go do a little homework. Meet you back here at the 7:30 show. And Lonely Weekends.
Will I make it alright? From Monday morning to Friday night,